This week we're looking at this so important pillar of marriage and family life. That falls apart, so much of our lives fall apart, and we don't want that. We really want to have a happy marriage and a great family, for you to be a great husband, and even better husband than you are today, and an even better father than you are today, and to raise the next generation, to be healthy, happy, to thrive. Here we go. So that's one of the pillars that we just see as so very important in our lives, is the marriage and family pillar. And so one of the things I just want to share with you this morning for you to consider through the day, these are some characteristics of healthy marriages. Now, researchers have looked at this. They've asked people, scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your marriage? And, so people who were like 7 and 8. Let me just tell you, here's my theory on that. When I do marriage retreats, I ask couples, individuals, scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you, how happy are you with your marriage? 0 is you're not here. You're at your lawyer's office. And 10 is it's unbelievably great. And I will tell them, you don't have the right, you don't get to say a 9 or a 10 unless you have been through something in your marriage that was just hugely traumatic, and you have survived it, and your marriage is now thriving. And this would be something really hard, like a chronic illness, death of a child, something really bad, even maybe an affair. But as a couple, you did the work, you took the time, you were committed to each other through the process, and you survived it, and now your marriage is thriving. And it's for those people that I say, you can say 9 or 10. Everybody else only go up to an 8. So if your marriage is awesome, and your life has always been good and easy, and things are, you just don't understand other couples struggling at all, well, you can go, I got an 8 marriage, a 7 marriage. Okay, so that's how I think. That's in my head, that's how I do things. So when researchers are studying couples that say, I love my marriage, I love my spouse, this is great, life's good, yeah, I'm really happy with that. These are the things that they find, these are the characteristics that they find that describe healthy marriages. And just see how you and your marriage are doing with this. So healthy marriages are characterized by supportive, encouraging, and honest communication. Love to talk about communication because love to communicate. So look at the quality of your communication. 80% of the people who come from marriage counseling coast to coast will report that the biggest problem is their communication, lack of good communication. I'm not sure that's always the case, because communication like, I hate you, get out, that's about as clear as it can get. So it's not about clear communication, it's about communication that's supportive, encouraging, where you're speaking life to your spouse. You, through your words, are helping to set them free from things that have them in some kind of chains, something that's holding them back. You're speaking life to them and encouraging them. That kind of communication characterizes a healthy marriage. Also, that you spend lots of time together. This is hard. We're busy. We do stuff. We have work. We have kids. We have soccer games or baseball games. People are driving here and there. I get that. Life can be busy. When you schedule your week, when you pull up your Google Calendar, we will talk about this much more when we talk about scheduling your month, your week, your day. When you schedule your week, the first thing to put down is sleep. Get your 8 hours of sleep. Just do it. Just get 8 hours of sleep. So schedule your sleep. Book it. It's important for your brain. It's important for long-term brain health. It's important for daily brain health. You'll be more productive and more efficient. Just schedule 8 hours of sleep. The second thing to schedule is time with your wife. Schedule the time. Book it on your calendar. Time with your wife. Schedule time with your kids. If there are baseball games or plays or something you need to go to, it gets on your calendar. And then start thinking about your business obligations. Just do it like that. Your life will be so much better if you do that. You won't be that guy that they make movies about. You'll be a gooder husband and a better father. So schedule like that. Start with those priorities. Spending lots of time together. Now, what's lots of time? I don't know. Susie had once told me, she read a book. There's a book that says healthy marriages do 15 hours a week together, face-to-face, one-on-one, no interruptions. I'm like, there's no way. 15 hours a week, there's no way. I can't do one-on-one. I mean, we're not talking about family time, sitting around the table talking. We're like no kids, one-on-one. I can't do 15 hours a week, every week. So what I have, after being a bad husband for a while, because the book said so, what I finally did was I said, look, I will give you, of my free time, you can have 95% of that, my free time. You can have all of that. Because I want to be with you. I want to spend time with you. I want to get to know you better. I've been married 37 years. I want to get to know you better. I want to spend more time with you. So that's the best I could do. You get 100% of my free time. And that works out pretty good because she knows I want to be with her. She knows it. So you have to convince your wife that she's number one in your life, and you do that with your time and your attention. You don't do it with gifts. You don't do it with cleaning the garage. You do it with your time. And you tell your children how valuable they are to you with your time. So healthy marriages spend lots of time together. I'm not going to put a number on it. I'm just going to tell you lots of time. Healthy marriages share and practice a common faith. This is one of the things that researchers found, that they also share key values in life. What's truly important in life? That answer is pretty close to the same to husband and wife, the things that are truly important in your life. If I ask you, what's the point of your marriage? The husband and wife both kind of agree on what the point of marriage is, or the point of raising kids, or the point of whatever we do in life. Share key values. You'll probably notice that when it comes to talking with your children or teenagers, the things that you might argue about with them tend to be over a difference in values. They have one set of values, perhaps, different from your values. You argue over that. The details may be something like what time you can come home, or whether you have to do your homework or not, or whatever it might be. That's the detail, but it's really about difference in values. And the healthier a family is, the more their values are in line with each other. And they may not be your values. They may not be Dad's values that everybody has to adapt to. It may be somebody else's values. It may be, for example, as best as everybody can figure out what God's values are, and so everybody appeals to that. Young and old, you can appeal to that outside of you. If you just try to make it your values, it's probably not going to go over really well, because you may not be the world's best authority on what the best values are. So try to come up with the best values for your family, for your marriage. I've had families that I said, okay, come up with your own 10 commandments. Just make them your own 10 commandments. Sit down at the table, come up with your own 10 commandments. And then print it out, frame it, put it up on the wall, and appeal to that. Marriages that are thriving, families that are thriving, agree on key values. They practice love and mutual admiration. They encourage each other. They speak life to each other. They want to see each other succeed. Have you ever just looked at your wife and wondered, who did God make you to be, really? And how can I help you to be all that you were made to be? To fulfill your purpose in life, to thrive in life? How can I be your cheerleader for you to move ahead in your life? You've helped me move ahead in my life. How can I help you move ahead in your life? Who really are you? Who were you really created to be? How can I help you get there? I want to encourage you to do that, to really help your wife thrive in her life based upon who she is, who she was made to be. Strong marriages, healthy marriages have common interests in life. They can solve problems and find solutions. Remember, in life there are only two kinds of problems. Only two kinds of problems. Problems that you can solve and problems that will never be solved. Solvable problems, problems that can't be solved. Only two kinds of problems. So the problems that can be solved, you sit down and you figure out how to solve it. And you come to a solution that benefits both of you and your family and your future. The problems that cannot be solved, you figure out together how you're going to live with it, how you're going to react to it, how you're going to respond to it. What are we going to do? What kind of people are we? How are we going to respond to this problem that we have no solution to? Families, marriages that are really healthy will prove their love for each other. They'll say they love each other. But sometimes life will require us to prove it. And we do that through self-sacrifice, ultimately. In marriages where you as the husband, your wife, toward you are willing to prove your love when it's required by life to sacrifice. We can say, I love the Dodgers, I love hot dogs, I love football, I love whatever. But that's just not the same kind of love that we're talking about here, right? That the love between a husband and wife is the kind of love that is proven through sacrifice through the years. So, healthy marriages, husband and wife are both willing to make sacrifices for the other. And finally, husbands and wives trust each other. That we live absolutely trustworthy lives. You go on a business trip, you're absolutely a man of integrity. You're absolutely trustworthy. With your kids, you're absolutely trustworthy. You say you're going to be there, you are there, and 10 minutes early is on time, right? You're that kind of guy. So your son has a baseball game, your daughter has a performance at school. You tell them you're going to be there, you are there. You're not that guy who makes promises and breaks them all the time to their kids. You're not that guy. You're the guy who makes a promise and keeps it. And to your wife as well. You make a promise to your spouse, I'm going to be here, I'm going to do this, we're going to make this happen. You're there because you are trustworthy, because you're a man of integrity. So here are the things that in just, 15 minutes we talked about. These are the keys, the characteristics of a healthy marriage. May they be true for you. In places where they're not true for you yet, these are the places to really work on. Let me just boil us all down to one thing. Convince your wife she's number one in your life. The key word is convince. Don't just say it. Don't just write it on a paper. Convince by the way that you live your life, by the words that you say, by being a man of integrity, keeping your word. So, characteristics of a healthy marriage for you.